Today, I'm going to be breaking down the formula to 10K months for solo freelancers, especially relevant if you're a graphic designer, videographer, photographer, anyone who has a creative skill set that you can sell to businesses. You are in the right place. First of all, I just want to break down what are the things that's holding everybody back, that held me back in the beginning, and it's something that only with the benefit of hindsight that I realize and is very easy to sidestep. Number one is reaching out to the wrong clients. When you start freelancing, you're thinking about just working your way up, gathering some experience. Let's start with small businesses. You're taking anything that comes your way. When I first started, my first project that came about was a local real estate agent. They were our real estate agent when we were trying to find a place to rent, and then they asked me what I do, and I said I'm studying university, I'm studying graphic design, and he was like, amazing, I really want a new graphic designer. The agency that I'm working with is charging me so much. How much do you charge for like a poster design? So I sent through an invoice. I charged him $400, which I thought was insane because I was working as a tutor in my uni days, and I think paid $35 an hour going to different students' house teaching like primary school kids math and English, and it was really fun. But I was like, this is like over 10 hours worth of work, but I can probably get this poster design done in like 3 or 4. And that seemed like a major breakthrough until I realized if I needed to turn this into an actual profitable career, I would need a lot of projects like this. And small businesses like this real estate agent, they probably only need like a marketing material every 2-3 months. And that to me was not enough to sustain my lifestyle. So I just never thought about freelancing again. I'm like, I'm just gonna go get a full-time job. Let's just take that conventional career path. And then another client came knocking, and it was another real estate agent that this client had referred me to. And this time the project was a little bit bigger, and then I realized, okay, if I can charge like $1,000 and I have just a couple, like 4 of these a month, that's doable. That's actually quite doable. But then I need to go out and find clients, and that's not really my thing. I'm super introverted, so I just stopped thinking about it until I worked full-time for another design studio, and it wasn't the right fit. I wanted to do branding and website, and they kind of focused on something else. So I decided to leave, and my design director, he actually said, hey Annie, I know you want to do more branding and web stuff. I have a friend from uni who is starting his own business, and our rates are too high, so do you want to take on this project? And I was like, oh cool, like yeah, sure, let's do that. And I did a course online about like project pricing, about doing brand strategy, and just upskilled myself quite a bit. And the guy in the video was saying like, you know, branding and website, it usually costs a couple $1,000s. You can even go as high as like $10,000-$20,000 for corporate clients. So I did some digging into the business, and it was pretty big. They even though they just got started, they actually had some really good foundation. They had like 20-30 employees already. They were making money, they were generating profit. So the proposal I sent them had 3 different tiers. It was around like $5,000-$6,000 for the base tier, like around $8,000 for the mid tier, and I think close to $15,000 for the high tier. And we got off a meeting, and literally the CEO was like, give me the top tier one. I need all of this. And I was like, oh my God. To be fair, it was like a lot of work. It was like 3 months worth of work. But I realized if I just had more clients like him, I would only need a handful to sustain myself for a whole year. And that was a huge unlock, is don't work with small businesses, work with small to medium enterprises. Businesses that's around like 20, 50 employees. They have a profitable business model. They're paying people salaries. That's a huge green flag. And they have a marketing budget, but they didn't have an in-house designer. They had an in-house marketing coordinator, and they knew that their brand and the website was overdue for a refresh. They were talking to investors, and they really wanted to bring it up a notch. So it was perfect. Like agencies were invoicing them like $30,000 for a project. So in comparison, mine was actually a huge discount. So that is the first unlock. The second unlock is realizing you don't need to go find 5 of these clients. What you need to do is to really narrow in and zone in on who your ideal client is, reach out to this exact persona. So for me, it was a CEO of an NDIS company, which is in Australia, a niche called the National Disability Insurance Scheme. And this is something that's funded by the government. If someone in your family is living with disabilities, the government actually gives a huge subsidy in Australia to support their everyday lives, be it for housing, support workers, daily care, transportation, things like that. And this wasn't a really sexy niche. For me, it was incredible because I feel like the things I'm doing has positive impact. And my mum is now applying for the NDIS. So it all just came in kind of full circle. So it just felt like a really cool industry that's kind of underserved, by marketers, by designers. And when I did a great job on their project, they were so impressed. They got a lot of recognition because all the other brands in the space, when they go into their annual NDIS conference and expo, their brand really stood out. So other people started paying attention, and on the website, on the footer, it says designed by emptistudio. So people would click that little link, come to my website, and I've had a lot of people like reach out to me that way. And they were all in a way qualified leads because they were other providers in the same industry. And also, this CEO, this client, he actually referred to me so many of his friends who are also entrepreneurs in other industries or adjacent spaces. So I've been able to expand my network that way. So do an amazing project, work with the right person, there'll be the right type of referrals, and it's going to be a positive reinforcing loop that way. And then the third breakthrough, my friend, you got to listen really, really closely, which is recurring income, unlocking that through monthly subscription services. That has absolutely revolutionized my business model, and it's something I kind of stumbled into by chance, because what I did and what I still do is I start with a branding project, then we move on to a website project if they need it, and then after that what they do is like, oh, we need like a poster here, and we need like a pull-up banner for this event here, and I would just charge them by hourly. But that is the other big mistake, is stop charging hourly, because you're getting your client into the mindset of calculating speed, efficiency, and cost. And you don't want that. You want them to focus on impact. You want them to focus on like ease, like seamlessness. Like that is the pivot that subscriptions really allow for. Then I said, okay, so you're sending me a lot of like one-off small projects, and it takes me time to invoice. It takes time for you to prove the invoice, and I want to have this process a bit more efficient and seamless. So what if we just sign you up to a monthly subscription? And the chief of growth then was the person I was liaising with, and she was like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, how much? And I gave them the price range, and it was $2,850 for the base, $3,750 for the mid-range, and it was like $5,250 for the top tier, which my pricing now is still pretty similar. I haven't increased it that much over the years. But straight away, she was like, the mid-tier, let's go. And she was like, do you have a payment link? I'll pay you straight away. And that changed everything, because then they were on the subscription for almost 2 years. And that is pretty much like a mini salary coming in, $3,000 every single month, every single month, every single month. And then what happened was, because I had other inquiries, I had like one-off projects here, which then also turned into recurring subscriptions. So all I need is 3 of them to make me 10K month after month and build so much stability. So I don't need to do outreach. I don't need to run ads. I don't need to post on social media. In fact, I've never gotten a single client from social media. It's just not my thing. And for high ticket services, you really don't need it. So that is where I'm going to leave you at today. But if you want a more full breakdown, I'm hosting a live workshop called the 10K month masterclass, where I break down exactly how to do it step by step. I also have a lot of exclusive resources that I'm going to share with you, templates, guides, resources, everything, how to structure your landing page, how to structure your first, outreach email to the right client, an ideal client avatar document that you can literally clone. You can use AI prompts to help you narrow in on that specific person, how to use LinkedIn to find the person that will hire you in a small to medium enterprise in the niche that you are passionate about. And this is a super, super simple process. It's not easy because you need to put the time and the dedication, and it's only with the power of hindsight that I was able to pull all this together. And I've helped a handful of students already. So stay on the QR code on the left so you don't miss out on the next live session. If you found this video helpful, I know you're also going to love this one on the left right here. If you prefer listening on the go, we also have a podcast version called the Brand Creator Podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.